Someone else, people are talking about narking in here, and I don't know if you guys have recently seen, but there was a whole episode done on, I think it was One News. I can't even remember because I honestly don't even watch TV. I just watch some of the little bits and pieces. But they're encouraging you to narc on anyone that they think may be an extremist. I mean, I know a lot of extremists, but unfortunately they're all sitting behind the TV screens presenting you news, telling you should be terrified of your neighbours, telling you that your neighbours have gone down a dangerous path just because they disagree with what the government is saying and how the government are trying to control your lives. That's interesting. Seems pretty extreme to me. Someone said here, just remember National will do the same. I mean, I don't think we have an opposition here in New Zealand. And one thing I did realise, one thing that I learnt when we were travelling, I mean, we met lots of different groups, right? I mean, we were sitting there with different people in different ends of the spectrum all the time. I mean, one of our train rides, we shared a carriage with a guy who was from Rebellion, Extinction, and he was a big, skinny, he wasn't trans, he identified as something else, but he was happy to be called him as well. But we sat with him, and then there was an activist from Canada, and then there was us, and then there was a Ukrainian man, and we just had the most amazing conversation about what was happening in the world at the moment and our different perspectives. And I thought that was really amazing that we could do that. But what it did show me, and what I've learned when we're in the Netherlands, there is definitely an extreme right. There is definitely an extreme right out there in the world. It exists. It's not fake, it exists. There is also an extreme left. What we have in New Zealand is not that. We do not have an extreme right in New Zealand. I don't know if we've got an extreme left the same way, but nobody that I have spoken with here in New Zealand is an extreme right. I mean, there might be a couple of them buried away, but by no means do they control political narratives. You have that overseas. I met some people where I was like, wow, these ideas are really extreme, and these people, you know, different groups of them around the world are in parliament. That does not happen in New Zealand. We have centre and left, and that is it. We do not even have a slightly right wing really in parliament at all. National does not call out Jacinda for what she does. They do not stand up to her. They just roll over, everything flies by. I mean, a massive one is the name change of New Zealand. It is huge. Internationally, people are saying to me, oh, you guys are changing your name, right? And I'm saying, well, we've never voted on it. I mean, I don't care if we change our name, but I care if we don't vote on it. I think that's massive. And for us to completely disregard the fact that she's changing our name internationally and in media internationally, and we're not hearing about it, how shocking is that? But people think that we're changing our name internationally because it's in their papers, it's in their news. New Zealand is changing their name. But they don't say it locally here to us. They try to just slowly creep it in until people kind of just ignore it. Now, National have never said, hey, that's undemocratic. You cannot change the name of our country without a vote. Let's vote on it and then let the people decide. National hasn't done that. I mean, and this is an easy win, right? That would be an easy win for National to win on a democratic principle. Another easy win would have been if they'd said, hey, Labour, we actually think it's up to people to have bodily autonomy. That would have been an easy win for National, but they don't do it. Why? Yeah.